Hello everyone, in this video, let's discuss the reasoning and Polya's problem solving. So in this lesson, we have to differentiate what is inductive and what is the deductive. What's the difference between the two? Okay, let's have the inductive reasoning first. It says here, it's a method of reasoning from giving the particular cases to general cases. All right, inductive reasoning is giving particular examples or cases to general case. The general case is what we call the conclusion. Alright, so sabi dito, it's a process of reaching your general conclusion by examining the specific examples. It is also called a bottom-up approach. It's all about arriving at the conclusion on the basis of principal facts which guide you towards it. Now, when we say conclusion, it's about making inferences or making educated guess. So that is called the conjecture. So meaning you have to make theory or you have to make inferences out of the particular cases that we have or out of the repeated observations of a particular process or pattern. Okay, example in inductive reasoning. So 2 is an even number, so that's specific. 12 is an even number, is also a specific case. 22 is an even number, that is also a specific case. Now, in inductive reasoning, you will have to make a conclusion or conjecture based on the specific cases that we have. So from that case, okay, what conclusion can we give in giving these particular cases? So as you can see, there is a pattern. As you observe, we have a pattern here. We have 2, okay, 12, 22. All right, so as you can see, they have common number, which is 2, and that is a number that ends with 2, right? So meaning to say, conclusion here, we can give that all numbers that ends with 2 are even number. So that is an example of inductive reasoning. So specific cases, and then you will make a conclusion out of those specific cases. All right. So next example, let's have this one. This is also is an example of a inductive reasoning. So as you can see, these are your specific cases. Ayan. So out of those patterns, all right, so what conjecture can we give? Or what will be the next pattern ang lalabas? So that is also inferences. All right, so in this case, our answer is letter A. Why? It's because on the polygon, so we have the polygon here. Those are polygons. As you can see, the sides are decreasing. So here, the last pattern is a square, 4 sides. So maybe the next pattern will have 3 sides. So that's letter A or B. But now, as you can see, we have also the dots is decreasing. So the last example you have is 3 dots. And then maybe the next pattern will decrease. So that is 2 dots. Okay, so that is letter A. Alright, so as you can see in inductive reasoning, okay, the patterns will enable us to make conjectures. Alright, so that is inductive. Alright, next example. Every time you eat peanuts, specific. Your throat swells up, also specific. And you cannot breathe, specific. So therefore, anong conclusion ang pwede natin ibigay out of those specific cases, right? So we can say that you are allergic to peanuts. Alright, so that is your conjecture. Alright, next example. Consider the counting numbers 1, 3, 6, 10, 15. So 1, 3, 6, 10, 15, your specific cases. Now, based on the pattern or observations, what will be the next number that will come up? Okay, so the answer is 21. Why? It's because yung difference nila, 1, 3, ang difference is 2. Ang difference naman ni 3, 6 ay 3. 6, 10 ay 4. So maybe the next number, ayan. Alright, so the differences between the counting numbers is 2, 3, 4, 5, meaning to say increasing. So maybe the next number is 6. So 15 plus 6, so you have 21. Alright, so those are the examples of inductive reasoning. Now let's move with the deductive reasoning. Deductive reasoning is a method of reasoning from general case to particular case. So, giving general case, okay, to particular or specific case. Okay, and then giving Okay, giving conclusion. Alright, so meaning to say general, specific, and then give a conclusion. Okay, so in deductive reasoning, we have these key terms: argument, reason or reason or reasons offered for or against something. Meaning to say, when we say argument, it's an example of a statement or set of claims that intended to support your conclusion. Alright, so it's also a form of reasoning that is to prove, okay, to prove the truth of the conclusion based dun sa mga given na premises or dun sa mga evidences na given or yung mga specific na given. Okay, so that is the argument. Next is when we say premise. Okay, premises. It's a minor or major proportion or assertion, claim that serve as the basis of the argument. So premises can be assumption, law, rule, or widely held idea or observation. So when we say premise, it's a claim that supports the conclusion or it is the reason for your conclusion. Next is syllogism is an argument composed of two statements or premise followed by a conclusion. Meaning to say, syllogism is have given two statements or premise and then followed by a conclusion. Later, I'll give you example of syllogism. Alright, next is conclusion. This is the last step in a reasoning process. So conclusion is a claim supported by your premises. Okay? So let's have example for deductive reasoning. Sabi dito, all men are mortal. So that's a general case. Socrates is a man, specific case. And then therefore, Socrates is a mortal. So that's your conclusion or tinatawag natin theory. Alright, so ibig sabihin, itong nakikita nyo example na to, this is a syllogism. Two premises, okay, yan yung premises mo, all men are mortal, Socrates is a man. And then followed by a conclusion. Okay, so that is an example of a syllogism. Alright, next example, it says all doctors are men, so that's general. Danilo is a doctor, specific case. So we have to make a conclusion out of it. So therefore, what will be conclusion can we make? Okay, so therefore, Danilo is a man. Okay, next example, all mammals have lungs, general case. Dogs are mammals, specific. So what conclusion can we give? Okay, therefore, dogs have lungs. Alright, next example, all triangles have three sides, general case. This shape has three sides, specific case. So meaning to say, it pertains to that shape. So therefore, we can say that this shape is a triangle or therefore, it is a triangle. So we're pertaining to the shape presented on the screen. Alright? Okay, next is let's have determine the following whether each of the following argument is an example of inductive or deductive reasoning. So all Leo Tolstoy novels are long, so specific general case. The novel Anna Karenina is a Leo Tolstoy novel, specific. Thus, Anna Karenina is long. So meaning to say, this is an example of deductive reasoning. Alright? So it starts with a general case, followed by specific, and then the conclusion. Next example, I know I will win a jackpot on this slot machine in the next 10 tries because it has not paid out any money during the last 45 tries. So in this case, this is an example of inductive reasoning. Kasi nagbibigay siya ng inferences, ng conclusion na mananalo siya sa susunod na in the next 10 tries. Next, during the past 10 years, a tree has produced plums every other year. Last year, the tree did not produce plums. So, this year, the tree will produce plums. So, in this case, this is also an example of inductive reasoning. Alright? So, it starts with specific and then nagbigay siya ng inferences that this year, sinasabi niya na this year, the tree will produce plums out of the observation na meron dito sa statement. Next, all home improvements cost more than the estimate. The contractor estimated that my home improvement will cost 135,000. Thus, my home improvement will cost more than 135,000. So in this case, this is an example of deductive reasoning. Alright, so it starts with a general case. A specific case is yung my home, and then it gives the conclusion. Alright, so those are the examples of deductive, and inductive reasoning. Alright? So next is, let's have the Polya's four phases of problem solving. So in Polya's four phases of problem solving, it's like the problem solving that we have in on our elementary days, like what is given, what is asked, like that. So in this case, the Polya's four phases of problem solving, number one is the understand. So in understanding, it says, what do I notice? What do I wonder? How can I estimate? What questions can I ask? So it's like what is asked. And then number two is to plan. So what strategy should I use? What steps will I take to solve the problem? Step three is solve, meaning to say, okay, how do I apply my strategy? Okay, how have I shown all my work? Is my voice loud and clear? Okay, and kumbaga parang you have to show in step three your solution. And then step four or fourth phase is the review. So it's like checking. Okay, so does my answer make sense? Did I check my work? All right, could someone see how I found my answer? So it's like checking. All right, so let's have the example in problem solving. It says a theater can seat 285 people. On a sell-out night, the theater grossed 15,540 from the ticket sales. Adults' ticket were 60 pesos each and children's ticket were 40 pesos each. How many adults' ticket were sold that night and children's ticket? So in this example, okay, you were asked to how many, okay, this is how many, all right, adults' ticket were sold that night and then the children's ticket also. How many and not how much. So meaning to say we have to analyze or understand the problem. So sabi, a theater can seat 285 people, meaning to say, uh, that's your total number of population or total number of people na meron ka. Okay? So, na kung saan, yung people na yon is composed of adult, okay, and children. Alright? So, and here, sabi dito, we have a gross of 15,540 from the ticket sales. So, that is your sales. Okay, yung 15,540. And then, yung ticket for the adult cost 60. And then, ticket for the children cost 40. Alright? So, in this case, we have to, mag-let tayo dito. Alright, so we have two kinds of people, adult and children. So, let's say your adult is your variable x, and then children is your variable y. So, let's have x. Okay, x is the number of adult. Okay, adult's ticket. Okay, and then let's have y as our children's ticket. You can interchange that one if you want. X is the children and then y is your adult. All right? So in this case, we have to make an equation. So gawa tayo ng equation out of your problem. So on the first sentence, using your x and y, we have to make an equation. So meaning, if we have to add x and y, the total is 285. Alright, so that's the bilang nung tao na pwedeng umupo sa teatro. So we have 285. Now, in this case, we have also 15,000. Alright, 540, which is, that's your sales. No? Yan yung gross sales natin. Now, if we add them, alright, the answer is 15,540. And it also says here the adult's ticket is 60 pesos. Alright? So meaning, if you have X as your adult's ticket, number of adult's ticket, and when we multiply that to 60, alright, we can have 60x, right? 60x is your total gross for adult's ticket. Alright, and then for the children, we have y, and then 40 each, so 40 times y. So meaning, si 40y is your total gross for children's ticket. Now, when we add them both, 60x and then 40y, we can have your total gross, which is 15,540. Alright? So meaning, this is our equation number 1, and this is our equation number 2. Okay? So in this case, this concept, if you still remember, the solving of linear equation with two unknowns. Okay, so this is two unknowns because we use two variables, which is x and y. All right, in solving the linear equation with two unknowns, all right, so we have we have different types of, different methods that we can use. We can do substitution or elimination method. Okay? Yan. So, we can do elimination, we can also do the substitution. Okay, but in this case, let's try to use the substitution method. Okay? So, yan. Sulat lang natin. The solution. Alright, so sulat natin yung ating given. So, we have equation number 1, which is x plus y is equals to 285. And then equation number 2, we have the 60x plus 40y is equal to 15,540. Alright, so in this case, we're going to use substitution method. Substitution method. Or we can also use the elimination method. Alright, so it's up to you. So in substitution method, okay, you will create another equation. Okay, so yung sinang mas madali na lang between equation 1 and 2, yun ang gamitin natin. So ang pinakamadali dito, of course, yung 1, kasi yung numerical coefficient ng x and y mo is 1. So gamitin natin to, si equation 1, yan. Gawa tayo ng panibagong equation out of that. Alright? So we have x plus y equals to 285. So now it's up to you kung sino gusto mong unang hanapin, si x ba o si y, kasi that's your goal to find the value of x and y. So in this case, we're solving for x. For example, we're solving for x. So yung y, transpose mo sa kabila. So magkakaroon ka ng x equals to 285 minus y. Okay, meaning, etong nakuha nating x is equals to 285 minus y, yan na yung gagamitin nating value ni x for now. Alright? So, ibig sabihin, balik tayo sa equation number 2. Okay, dito sa equation number 2, isa-substitute mo naman yung x na to, yung ating value ni x. Yan. Alright? So, solve natin yan. So, we have 60. Okay, dito na lang. 60. Okay, times the value ng x, which is 285 minus y. Okay, plus, copy lang natin si 40y, equals to 15,540. Okay? Next is, once again, we substitute the value of x. This is your x. Okay, and this one. Okay, so ang ginamit natin yung equation number 3 natin. Okay, dun sa equation number 2. So since we have parentheses, we have to distribute 60 here and this one. Okay, so multiply lang natin yan. So we have 60 times 285. So you can use your calculator to get the answer. So the answer is 17,000. Alright, 100. Okay, next is 60 times y. So you have negative 60y. Alright, and then just copy plus 40y equals to copy 15,540. Alright, next is, as you can see, we can now combine like terms. Kasi isa na lang yung variable na meron dyan, pwede na natin siyang ipag-combine. Kasi dun sa equation 1 and 2, wala kayong pwedeng ipag-combine dyan kasi 2 unknown siya. Diba kapag magkaiba ng variable, hindi naman natin siya pwedeng ipag-combine. So kaya tayo gumamit ng substitution method para yung value ng x mo dito, okay, ay mapalitan natin in terms of y. Okay, so yun yung ginawa natin. So in this case, since pareho na sila ng variable, okay, pwede na natin silang i-combine like terms. So ito, 17,100, constant siya. So yung constant na yan ay ililipat natin dun sa kabilang side. So i-transpose natin yan dun sa other side. Okay? And then, ito namang 60y tsaka 40 ay ipagko-combine natin since pareho na sila ng variable. So, negative 60y plus 40y, i-calculate nyo lang yan. So, meron ka ng negative 20y equals. Copy lang natin si 15,540. And then, yung 17,100 ililipat sa kabilang side. So, magiging negative siya or minus 17,100. Okay? And then, tsaka i-combine din natin yan kasi pareho naman silang constant. So, negative 20y, okay, equals to, okay, ang sagot dyan ay negative 15,600. Okay, use your calculator to get the answer. Now, since we're looking for the value of y here, so we have to divide both sides, okay, by negative 20, para ang matitira na lang ay yung y natin. Okay, eto guys, cancel out negative 20, ang matitira yung y. So, therefore, you have now the value of your y. So, meron na tayong y, okay, is equals to, i-calculate nyo lang din to, negative 1,560 divided by negative 20. So the answer is 78. Alright. Now, as you can see, we have now the value of your y. Therefore, since we let y a while ago, remember? Alright, as the number of children's, children's ticket. Alright, so ibig sabihin, 78, yung bilang ng ticket for the children. Alright, next is, you have now the value of your y. Hanapin naman natin yung sa may x kay adult naman. So, para naman makuha natin si adult, you can use equation 1 or equation 3. Okay? But in this case, we can use the equation 3 para mas madali. Diba? Ayan na kasi yan. Galing din naman siya sa equation 1, diba? So, gamitin na natin yan para makuha na natin yung value ng x natin. So, you have x equals to 285. May value ka na ng y, which is 78. So, just plug in minus 78. So, you have now, calculate nyo ulit. So, meron na tayong, 207. Okay, so meaning to say, we have now the value of x, okay, which is, ano nga ba yung x mo dyan? Di ba yan yung number of adults, adults ticket. Alright, so now we have your answer. Okay, adults ticket means 207, and then your children's ticket is 78. Alright, so in Polya's strategy, we have the last step, which is the review, which is, when we say review, we have to check if your answer is correct. So checking, it's like checking. Okay, so you have now the value of your x and y. You can use 1 or 2, equation or 3. Okay, so let's have now yung 1 na lang para mas madali lang. So you have x plus y equals to 285. So your x means 207, your y means 78, and then plug in nyo lang yan sa calcu if they are equal. Okay, so using your calculator, we all know that 207 plus 78 is equals to 285. Okay, so now they are equal. Okay, so that's your checking. Now, the question is how many, so that's our answer. Okay, pero if the question is how much, for example, you were asked is, if how much is the adult's ticket. Okay, so for you to get the answer for that, so you have 60 pesos each for the adult, diba? So 60 times 207. And if you were asked for the ticket sales, how much? So you have 40 pesos for the ticket sales ng, 40 pesos for the children's ticket, so times the number of children, so that is 78. Okay, so 40 times 78. Alright, so that is the example number 1. Okay, next example, let's have the length of a rectangle is 2 less than 3 times the width, and then the perimeter is 76 centimeter. What is the length and the width? So in this case, okay, para tayo mag-convert, remember dito ang station ng mathematical language into, mathematical statement into expression. So let's have that one. The length of rectangle, so yung dinedescribe natin dito, yung length ng rectangle, which is 2 less than 3 times daw ng width. Alright, so meaning, we have your width as your x. Okay, we have to let width, okay, as x. So ito yung x natin dyan. Kumbaga parang yan yung unknown number natin dito. Alright, so now let's have the equation or expression natin for the length. So sabi dito, the length of a rectangle is 2 less than 3 times the width. So remember, sabi ko sa inyo before, if we have the word than, okay, unahin nyo muna yung 3 times the width, so that's 3x, tsaka natin ima-minus sa 2. Alright, so meaning to say, our equation for the length will be, okay, 3x minus 2. Alright, so now that we have your variables for width and length, let's now come up with the equation. So paano natin siya isosolve? And sabi dito, the perimeter is 76 centimeter. Now, remember that the formula for the perimeter, if you still remember, di ba we have 2 length plus 2 width. Di ba when we say perimeter, adding all the sides of the polygon or of a shape. So 2L plus 2 width, alright, so that's the equation na paggagamitan natin. Alright, so substitute lang natin yung mga yung mga values natin dito. So, ang 76, yung ating perimeter. So, substitute nyo siya dito. We have 76 equals, alright, and then 2 times, ano daw yung length natin? That is 3x minus 2. Okay, so yan yung length natin dito. And then plus 2 times, ang width daw natin ay x. Okay? So, kumbaga parang papalitan lang natin yung mga details, okay, with our equation ng width tsaka ng length. Okay? So, in this case, to solve for x, okay, as you can see, we can distribute 2 sa 3x tsaka doon sa 2, and then 2 sa x. Alright, just multiply. So you have 76 equals to 2 times 3, so you have 6, copy x. 2 times 2, you have 4. Since minus yan, so we have minus plus 2x. Alright, and then combine like terms. So, ang pagsasamahin natin dito, yung itong 6x saka itong 2x. Alright, kasi pareho sila ng variable, pareho rin ng exponent. And then itong negative 4, lipat nyo sa kabila kasi constant siya. Okay, kapareho siya ng 76 na constant. So magkakaroon ka ngayon ng 76 plus 4 equals to 6x plus 2x, so you have 8x. Okay, so you have 80 equals to 8x. Now we're looking for the value of x, so we have to divide both sides by 8 para cancel na yung 8 natin, ang matitira na lang yung x natin. Okay? So therefore, 80 divided by 8, so you have 10. So x is equals to 10. Meaning, etong 10 natin na to, yan na yung ating width. Okay? So we have now the value of your width, which is 10. Okay? Next is for us to get the length. Okay, hanapin naman natin si length. Okay, length. Diba ang equation natin for the length is 3x minus 2. Okay, just plug in x, so you have 3 times 10 minus 2. So 3 times 10 is equals to 30 minus 2, so you have 28. Okay, therefore 28 is our length. Okay, so now that we have the length, which is 28, and then ang width natin ay 10. Alright, and then check lang natin kung tama ang ating answers. Checking. Okay, so how do we check? So let's use this formula. So we have 76 equals to 2 times, okay, 2 times the length. Ang length natin ay 28. And then 2 times our width is 10. Okay, so 2 times 28 is equals to 56. Plus 2 times 10, you have 20. So add them, so the answer is 76. Alright, so they are equal. Okay, so that is our example number 2. Alright, next is number 3. So let's have another example. Ayan. So sabi dito, number 3, every person at a party of 28 people said hello to each other, to each of the other people at the party, exactly once. How many hellos were said at the party? Okay? So in this case, isipin natin kung paano nyo yan isosolve. Bigyan ko kayo ng illustration dito sa example na to. Okay, let's have illustration para magets nyo yung sinasabi dito sa number 3 natin. So example, we only have 4 people, okay, sa party. Babaan lang natin. Okay, so we have 4 people on. Okay, let's say yung people natin na yan, we have your A, B, C, and D. Okay, yan yung ating 4 people. Si A, B, C, D. Okay, isipin nyo, for example, si A. Okay, so si A, kanino siya mag-hello? Diba? So kailangan niyang mag-hello kay B, kailangan niyang mag-hello kay C, kailangan niyang mag-hello kay D. Alright, so ibig sabihin, kay letter A, meron na tayong 3 hello. Okay? Next is kay B naman. Okay? Kanina naman siya mag-hello kay B. Okay? So, since si A pa lang naman ang nag-hello kay B, tama? So, pwede pa naman si B mag-hello kay A. Tama? Isang beses lang din yon, exactly once. Kumbaga parang si B, kailangan niya rin mag-hello kay A. Isang beses lang. Hindi pwedeng B, nag-hello na kay A, tapos mag-hello siya ulit. Okay? So, yung sinasabi dito sa exactly once na yan, na kung saan si B dapat isang beses lang magsasabi kay A. Okay? And si A magsasabi rin kay B. Okay? So, hindi po siya counted as one, ha? So, isa-isa po yun. Alright? And then, B ulit, magsasabi siya ng hello kay C. Magsasabi din siya ng hello kay D. Alright? Ibig sabihin, si B ay may 3 hello. Okay? Punta naman tayo kay letter C. So, si C, of course, magsasabi siya ng hello kay A, kay B, at kay D. So, meron din 3 hello si C. And also, si letter D, mag-hello din po yan kay A, kay B, at kay C. So, ibig sabihin, may 3 din siyang hello. Alright? So, as you can see, ibig sabihin, each person, kung titingnan nyo po, each person, alright, merong 3 hello. Alright? So, meaning, kapag pinag-plus mo yan, so you have 12. No? So, anong conclusion or conjecture ang pwede nating magamit dito? So, parang ginawa natin dito ay inductive reasoning, no? So, ibig sabihin, you have 4, ilang 3 ang nakikita nyo dyan? 4. So, each person ay may 3 hello. Alright, so ito yung kumbaga parang pattern, okay, or theory na pwede nyong magamit, di ba, out of this example. So, ibig sabihin, sa party, merong 28 people, alright, so meron daw 28 people. So, sa 28 people na yon, okay, ilang hello ang magagawa, okay, nung 28 na yon. Alright, di ba sa illustration natin, 4 yung tao na to, each person, no, ay merong tatlong hello. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, dito sa example na to, 28 times 27. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, meron tayong 756 hello, okay, na masasabi dun sa party. Okay? So, that is an example. Number 3 natin. Okay, naintindihan. Okay, there are 5 students in a classroom. If everyone in the classroom handshakes with everyone else, how many handshakes would there be? So in this example, para siyang, tawag dito, yung, if you remember, yung with repetition natin. Okay? So let's have another example in problem solving. There are 5 students in a classroom. If everyone in the classroom handshakes with everyone else, how many handshakes would there be? Alright, so isipin natin, paano yan? Meron daw tayong 5 estudyante. Okay, 5, A, B, C, D, and E. If everyone in the classroom handshakes with everyone else, how many handshakes would there be? So, let's say si letter A, ayan, makiki-handshake kay B, kay C, kay D, kay E. So, therefore, si letter A ay merong 4 na handshake. Alright? So, next is, how about letter B? So, si letter B, okay, makiki-handshake pa ba yan kay A? Isipin nyo mabuti. Okay, handshake kasi siya. Okay, ibig sabihin, kumbaga guys, si A, naki-handshake na siya kay B. So, si B ba, kailangan pa ba niyang maki-handshake kay A? Isipin nyo. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, si B, alright, hindi niya na kailangan maki-handshake. Handshake naman to guys. Hindi naman siya katulad kanina na hello. Diba? Isipin niyo yung kanina. Diba? Si A, magsasabi pa lang ng hello kay B. Okay? Si B ba, nagsabi na ba agad ng hello kay A nun? Hindi, diba? So, ibig sabihin, yung kanina, okay, si A mag-hello kay B, si B mag-hello din kay A. Kaya, yun yung parang with repetition. Ito, hindi na, no need. Kasi handshake naman siya. So, yung B, okay, kanina na lang siya makiki-handshake kay C, kay D, at kay E. So, how many? So, meron tayong, okay, 3. Next, kay C, kanina lang siya makiki-handshake. Of course, kay D na lang at kay E. So, ilan yon? 2. Alright, and then lastly, si letter D, makiki-handshake kay E. So, meron kang 1. Okay, so add them together, add natin yung lahat. So, meron tayong 10 handshake na magagawa kapag meron tayong 5 estudyante sa isang classroom. Okay? So, yan. So, kumbaga, parang ano lang yan. If you remember, ito yung n minus 1 over 2. Okay? So, kunwari meron kang 5 minus 1 over 2. Diba? So, 5, and dito na lang, 5 times 4 divided by 2. So, 5 times 4 is 20. 20 divided by 2, so you have 10. Okay? Ayan. So, yung kanina naman, yung example number 3, ano naman to? Parang, ito naman siya, n minus 1. Alright, alam yun, 28, no? 28 times 27. Okay, so you have 756. Alright? So, those are the examples of problem solving. Alright, so thank you everyone for listening to this lesson. I hope you learned something from this. Okay, God bless everyone.